Let's see, what year is this thing? This is about the prettiest parts car you're gonna find. This thing has 220,000 miles on it. It's a front-wheel drive CVT. That's the only way they came in the USA for front-wheel drive is CVT. CVT means continuously variable transmission. It's kind of like a scooter. It's, no automatic with no gears, no shifting, but it does have some weird shifting. If you put it in manual mode, they somehow figured out a way to get 8 individual gears with it. It's really weird, really tricky. Now this one does have the sport package. So with the sport package, we have sport suspension. So yeah, I haven't washed this car since I pulled it back home, but with sport suspension, you just have lowering springs, but the factory lowering springs, it's really where you want to be, in my opinion. You can tell there's a little bit less of a gap and just a little bit more on the sides. It doesn't look funny, it doesn't look silly, it doesn't look slammed. It actually rides well too. It's where you want to be, in my opinion. If you're trying to go completely low, you just suffer with ride quality. Yeah, some people might think it looks a little bit cooler, but it takes away from the practicality of the vehicle. So we got nice doors, 4 nice doors. We got a completely nice doghouse. I was going to sell just one fender off it, but I hesitated because I was thought, someone might want the whole front clip. Those headlights are some pretty nice condition headlights, xenon headlights. This front grille, we have the filler panel, the filler plate. So a lot of vehicles don't have that. It really cleans up the front end when you put that on there. The rims are upgraded sport package rims, similar to like a S-Line. That's an appearance package. You'll have nicer rims on an S-Line. Now it is not, they might call it Premium Plus, but in my opinion, it's not. I like to call, a little bit of bird doo-doo there, but the trunk lid's nice, the bumper's nice. What I was going to say about Premium Plus is, what I really consider Premium Plus is whenever it has the buttons down here in the center console. But what Audi kind of considers Premium Plus, from what I've gathered, is whenever it has the xenon headlights. So you'll get the packages are all over the place. Like this could be a Premium Plus without sport package. Or you could have an S-Line with almost no other options. I let a guy borrow my Prestige A4 and it was so different than his S-Line A4, he thought it was an A6. That's how silly, That's pretty silly, but I guess I know these things better than most. Nice glove box, nice door panels. This is a nice car inside. For 220,000 miles, this thing held up really well. So this is the best part of sport package besides the suspension. Well, I guess the steering wheel is pretty nice too, because you get the paddle shifters with sport package. You get this 3-spoke steering wheel. And these, it's nice to have them, but honestly, after you use them I don't use them. I don't use the pedals. I don't ever put it in Tiptronic mode and shift like this. I just don't. If you want all that, just get a manual transmission. Just get the manual transmission. Because you know what? Manual transmission cars, it's like playing Ring Around the Rosie. And eventually, you're going to be without a seat. Or is that how? No. Musical chairs. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm trying to think back to my childhood. It's going to be like musical chairs. And eventually, all the manual transmissions that are worth having are going to be snapped up, and then the values are going to start skyrocketing because they're not pretty much all the manufacturers quit making manual transmissions. So tell you what, I'd get my hands on one. That's funny, there's a little crack right here. I just had an inquiry about the seats in my A5 and it had a similar crack right here, but really you can kind of match it up. Let me try to match it up. You can kind of match it up, and you might put like a little bit of super glue underneath it or something, and you'd never notice. But that one has hairline cracks right here too. This panel is easily swappable. the seats come out fairly easily. Unfortunately, this one does have a little bit of stress cracks right there, but that's no big deal. I mean, these Audi people though, man, they can't handle any little imperfection. They gotta, anything's wrong and they freak out. Tell you what. Nice door panels. So yeah, all this stuff is for sale. I gotta come up with preferably, I don't really like to ship stuff, especially big stuff like doors. Looks like there is a little paint imperfection here on that rear door. We got some nice rear seats. See, whenever I was tearing up my A4 in the back, people were getting all mad, but really almost nothing was worth anything on that car. So here you go, folks. This is a car that's worth something and people can buy parts off of it if they want. But like I said, I prefer local people. I don't really like to ship too much stuff. I mean, if you pay for it, I probably will, but these rims have pretty nice tires on them as well. We got, man, some good tread. I'd say that's 75%. And these are 245/40 R18 Pirelli all season P0. The engine I'm gonna use. Everything else is going up for parts. Is there anything else to talk about it? So sport packages, rims, suspension, seats, paddle shifters, steering wheel. That's what you got. That's what you got, folks. There you go. Nothing else to show you on this one. It's a 2009. I can just tell by looking at the mirrors. You see this mirror, how it's a little bit fatter? And now compare it to this mirror. See how it's slimmer? And if you want to see me install an engine, I'll probably go ahead and film putting this engine in this Q5. You know, it's reverse order removal, but I've had a lot of people ask about an installation video, so I'll go ahead and throw that together if I can fit it in. We'll see. Really interesting on this one. I mean, not interesting, but I guess I can give you some more stuff to chew on. I was noticing this catalytic converter had some crud in here, and this is like flaky carbon that probably just built up on the turbo wheel or in the compressor or something. But I noticed a small pile of it back there. Probably be a nice idea just to go ahead and vacuum those catalytic converters out, because see that crud? I mean, if you can get it out, get it out. Another thing is, I always keep my transmission jacked up, but if you lower this transmission can sink a little bit, and this torque converter can come out like that. And then if it spins just a hair, the splines can be off. I mean, I don't really want to do it, but it's possible that it can. I guess I'm not even gonna be able to get the splines to come out, but okay, maybe it was there was one specific case where I took this axle shaft out. Maybe that was the scenario, but someone recently told me in the comments that they had a problem with that, so that's something to be aware of. I don't ever take these axles out. This axle goes all the way behind, and this torque converter is flipped around backwards so that you can save weight and get more weight back further. So that's why it allows this axle to go through here. That's one of the reasons why 2009 is such a better platform, because they really improved on the weight distribution. Like, the engine is so short, and the axles come out of the very front of the transmission. So you also want to check your engine mounts before you put it back in. And it might be a good idea to check your fans and make sure everything's tight here. But ultimately, there's not too much going on. You just toss it back in. So stay tuned for more content and different content, because I'm going to be showing different things. I'm going to be bringing different stuff. I got lots more stuff coming out. Trust me.